大家好，我是 Ting， 我们今天继续来玩宣誓。好，我其实整个地图已经清的差不多了，然后呢，这个有点问题啊，它这个可选任务我接了之后好像有一点点怪怪的，我感觉我应该接了，可是它还是显示在这边，哦，那个我也不知道要怎么按。 应该是这个吧，正屋箱放回纳库特德克的这个任务，我不知道为什么它的惊叹号是显示在那里，不过没关系，我们今天就是要进去这个把这个主线给解了，然后不过还在那之前要先把这个坚定的决心这个支线给解掉哈，所以等一下来这边搜索这个树之后，应该是要去这个游侠总部这边吧，大概就这样，然后。 怎么说呢？这个游戏我觉得还玩到现在目前为止，我觉得还可以啊。然后我因为觉得玩近战玩到有点无聊，所以我现在是转了算是一个偏法师系的一个 build。但是现在就是因为我现在才13等，现在有点尴尬，就是我后来才发现，就是我一般这种直接学的法术，的精粹消耗过高。 所以，像这个爆裂剑50精粹嘛，我们其实才200多精粹，放不了4次。可是你就一定要搭配着你的这个书本，它这边有减这个战绩消耗嘛。所以其实基本上最有效益的方式，你还是要带着魔点，而不是说你啊，像我原本的构想，我想说，我学个技能，然后但是我是近战。 类似这种魔法剑士或什么，其实你根本不够。为什么？因为你近战一样，近战的技能一样也是扣的精粹啊。你不可能说我放个飞弹风暴，然后同时我在这边放个冲锋，然后呢在这边隐袭到处偷袭，那不可能，因为你一定不够。然后你也没有战斗中回这个精粹的手，你只有把人家打死，用这个精粹丰收去收，不然就是召唤这个寄生法杖去敲别人去回。 那我觉得寄生法杖比较像是刚刚的那个情况下，你比较有像，因为你如果真的是法师穿轻甲，你拿这个去前面敲，不小心被别人挥到一下，其实真的是斜扣太快了，所以我不晓得，反正现在就是我觉得是很等级不够的情况下，你要做一些混搭，我觉得是相当的没有效益，还不如说专门的就是纯战士或是纯法师。纯法师的话，其实还有个痛点就是等级不够，所以你不管你有什么魔法，你不管你有什么魔导书，你只要没有去强化到等级2、等级3，它原本就是原始的这个法术的话，效益也不大。所以，像我现在就很痛苦啊，我需要一个爆裂剑 CD 时候有一个填充的中间的一个技能，那我又不想浪费点数去点魔杖。事实上，你点魔杖也是要耗体力嘛。 那你不如点个火焰扇，但是火焰扇你法术书上面没有的话，耗25精粹，其实比我翻书本丢爆裂剑要贵，所以就这个就是一个很奇怪，因为因为你就很看这个魔导书上面的技能组合，像我想要用火焰扇配爆裂剑的，我目前好像还真没有这种魔导书。 对，没有这个魔导书嘛，所以你很受限。你要真的想要很有趣战力，想放 CD 到就放，然后对战斗打完之后，你的精粹也够回了够你消耗用的，是吧？很局限，真的很看你的这个手上的魔点。那我觉得游戏前期是这方面的限制，蛮大的限制你的这个战斗的乐趣。我只能这样讲。那我感觉起码要到15等，再拿2个。 战绩点数有一个低阶的法术跟一个中高阶的法术去填充你的2个输出循环，你才会打起来比较舒服。因为我们同时间一方面还要点魔点精通，然后还要给一些防护技能，还要点一些防护技能，然后还有一些搭配的这个回复的技能，然后呢还要点这个隐袭，因为隐袭这个隐形状态真的太重要了。然后你又一定要有冲锋，因为有一些点不用冲锋爬不上去，所以。 哎，就是前期又要投入很多这种功能性的点数，对，这算是我的一个小抱怨吧。然后还有就是这个，我一开始以为这个祭坛 就全部拿到可以同时生效。后来才发现不是，它一次只能生效一个图腾，所以它里面的组合是依你目前要的去做搭配的。像现在这个我们第2张地图只有这个阴谋者的，跟旁边这个复视者。其实阴谋者比较像是给近战用的，然后这个复视者比较像是给法术用的。所以我等于说，我现在要转成法师之后，我又得回去用这个复视者。对，这个阴谋者等于目前是不太合适的，因为敏捷加的攻击速度感觉好像没有增加到施法速度，那好像是另外一个效果，所以就这样了。现在就是很尴尬，一个不上不下的一个等级。好吧，那我们这一集就是我们现在一个吉雅塔也加入了。然后看起来马里乌斯应该也有任务，所以我们就是先把这些同伴对话对完，然后再去解那个支线，最后去解主线这样子，然后再看应该就是之后就去下一个地图。好。
Noted. Thank you.
Envoy, hard to imagine what Giada's going through right now, with her parents and all that. I mean, I have no idea what actually happened there, but she lost her people. She'll need time to get past that. And she deserves it. Right, changing the subject. Oh, good. Let's have it. Because it's not that interesting, really, and knowing about it won't keep you alive, and I don't like talking about it. So why pry? Wouldn't you rather your wilderness guide be happy and unburdened by thoughts of his past? I think there was a period of 3 days when I was in training, but I might have dreamt it. I remember sleeping a lot. Ha! Not without a sharp blade or a barrel of Wodak, you won't. Anyway, what do you need?
好吧，马里乌斯目前还没有给任务。
I'm glad I had the opportunity to catch up with Liviana. She's doing well for herself. My mother had many friends, but Liviana was one of the few who truly believed in her.
他会讲这一段是因为我有回去这个天堂城，然后我治疗我们的那个医师，因为也算是铸魂师嘛，所以他跟他算认识。
They thought her research was dangerous. From an animancer, that's saying something. Liviana helped design the phantasmal focus. The interlocking rings were her personal touch. She didn't stay long after the accident. Maybe she took it hard. I don't know. She always does. Liviana never wanted me to become an animancer. She thought I should abandon my family's work, find another way to grieve. But the Castel does not give up that easily, no matter the cost. Anyway, thanks for listening. What are you so curious about? That little island off of Dawnshore? None that I know of. Ignato Castel led the Valiant trading company in the Deadfire archipelago. Among other things, he invested in the future of animancy, and apparently he had interests here. I hope not. I wouldn't want my family associated with speculation, corruption, and whatever else happened in the Deadfire. We have enough problems already. He had some ideas about moving great distances in the blink of an eye. As far as I know, he was unsuccessful. Animancy and ambition are a dangerous mixture. Intoxicating, but dangerous. Afraid not. I've heard a lot of contradictory stories coming out of the Deadfire in recent years. Some say Castel is still in power, while others think his second-in-command took over the Valiant trading company. You know how it is. Wherever there's conflict, there's bound to be misinformation. Unfortunately, that's all I know. Whether or not Castel succeeded, I don't think it's folly to dream. Anyone in particular? I warn you, I'm not the best judge of first impressions. Kai is a useful fellow. We need people like him to keep you grounded. Just not too grounded. On the surface, Kai is all charm and confidence. You feel good knowing he's around. But there's something deeper. Something in his core that he guards from everyone. Maybe even himself. Kai wears his confidence like a mask. We all do. No one wants to project their frailties. But in his case, hiding behind it amplifies his better qualities. So I say, let him have his mask. If there's another side to him, he'll show us when he's good and ready. No need to rush a natural process. Marius is working through something. An old wound that hasn't healed. A search for forgiveness? Who knows? He's a tough fellow, but I wouldn't put too much pressure on him. We're all wounded. That's the price of survival in the living lands. Just look at you. Only just got here and you died in the line of duty. You may not be from the living lands, but the island left you a scar to remember. Now, you're just like us.
好有道理。全部人都有伤痕。
We haven't been together long, but I think I have you figured out. In Paradise, you killed your killer. Some would call that justice. Others would call it vengeance. But who am I to judge? In your shoes, I might have done the same. Fiorme Siverno tolerates you well enough. No doubt thanks to my influence. Of course, all I know is what you've done. You may not think these choices reflect who you are. At the end of the day, you shouldn't care what anyone thinks. All that matters is how you see yourself. I've spilled all the gossip I know. Ask me again when there's a new face in camp. I suppose you deserve to know, after what I put you through. My mother wanted to expand Fiore's agriculture. Feeding Emerald Stair wasn't ambitious enough. She wanted to feed the world. She thought she could break the wilderness, using animancy as the whip. Turn the living lands into a garden. That's putting it lightly. After my father put the finishing touches on the phantasmal focus, she was impatient to get started. After all, whoever controls the spirit of the living lands has nature in the palm of their hand. My father thought so too. Emerald Stair was just the beginning to her. My father thought she was brilliant. Others thought she was mad. I think she was a victim of her own ambition. She wanted so much, and there was so little time to achieve it. Theoretically, her plan should have worked. But the living lands had other ideas. When she used the phantasmal focus, theory collided with reality. Everything went wrong. I can't rule anything out, but I suspect the Dream Scourge had something to do with it. It lives in the essence of the living lands, corrupting whatever it touches. And if I'm right, that means it's been here a long time. Or the forces behind it. No. To my knowledge, the accident was no everyday occurrence. But neither was the experiment. My mother transgressed on nature, on existence itself. Still, I don't understand what went wrong. When I do, then I can finish her work. I was 17. That makes it... Gods, has it been 13 years already? After they died, I wouldn't go near a lab. It was ages before Kolichi got me to crack open a book. I have a lot of catching up to do in my studies. Need to make up for lost time. Don't worry. I've lived with it for a while now. I thought my family's research could help Emerald Stair. That it could banish the Dream Scourge from our lands. Of course, Vidaro wouldn't even give me a chance. He was afraid of history repeating itself. Still, I'm hopeful. This legacy of mine could change Animancy as we know it. And something tells me I'm close to a breakthrough. Closer than my mother ever got. I hardly think your Emperor would approve. Good thing he's on the other side of the world. No Animancer has engineered an ecosystem before. Maybe, with a little luck, I could be the first. Ah, a simple question with a very complicated answer. The device is attuned to the spiritual energy of the living lands, much like a compass to magnetic north. But essence is chaotic by nature. As you saw with your own eyes, imposing order on chaos is not without risk. Indeed. Don't get me wrong, this invention is a small miracle, but it isn't enough. The phantasmal focus was supposed to be the start of something grand. One lever of a device that exists only in theory. Perhaps it should remain that way. Now that you mention it, I did try and awaken my soul to become fully aware of my past lives. Every Animancer tries and fails. It's practically a rite of passage. So, one evening, I crept into the workshop and cobbled an invention together from spare parts. Amateur work. Then I turned it on. Big mistake. The next thing I knew, it was morning. I was floating in the fountain, and my head was pounding like a drum.
You don't need animancy for that. Just rum and a crew on shore leave.
That answers a lot of questions, honestly.
Sometimes I wonder, what if it actually worked? What if all of this happened before, and I'm just reliving the events of a past life? I try not to think about it too much. Until next time.
他还有任务啊。
Thank you again for letting me join you. An Animancer never misses an opportunity to embrace the unknown. Still, being an Animancer feels different without Fior Messiverno. For the first time, I don't have to prove myself to anyone. It'll take some getting used to, that's for sure. At least now I have a place I can call my own. Such a troublemaker, but a thoughtful one. Not to change the topic, but this little adventure of ours, will it be dangerous? Just making sure I know what I signed up for. My mother and father taught me how to defend myself, among other things. When you need me, I'll be ready. I hope so anyway. Thanks for talking.
I was wondering, what do...
Is it true you had a relationship with Inquisitor Ludwig? This is too much. I think I'm going to be sick. A romantic evening with the Inquisitor? I can't even picture it. Must have been like lying down with a bear trap. All right, that's enough detail for one lifetime. Thank you. I'm just glad you made it out alive. If I must.
哇，他好多对
Would you
话。
ever consider using... Between the two of us, thank you for helping Yatsli reach that vase. Maybe it seems like nothing to you, but to her it's everything. When you consider how many Orlans and dwarves there are, it's outrageous that we build so high off the ground. I'm sure she appreciates the help, though she has a funny way of showing it. Don't let her size fool you. On the inside, Yatsli stands as tall as a mountain. One of these days she's going to change the world, shake things up. And I'll be at her side, grinning like a fool. Anyway, thanks again. Pleasant dreams.
啊，终于对话完了。他还有他对好多东西都有意见要发表。然后
Have you ever met a
我觉得他的这个服装，这个艾欧拉收藏，我觉得就很有王艳列岛的那个感觉，但是我个人觉得没有很好看。所以说实在，他那个豪华版送的那些外观，我觉得全部都
Being godlike?
不怎么
One
样
of Andra's
说实
children?
在
Ngati's children, as they're called in Deadfire.
好，我们现在的阵容我就是带凯跟吉雅塔，因为吉雅塔他有补血的技能，差很多，我就不用浪费冰翠去回血，也不用一直拼命喝水啊什么的，我觉得差蛮多的。好，我们赶快这个坚定的决心赶快把它解掉。他说要找一个什么根须交错的树，哦，怎么有点掉帧？菲奥尔西南方河口处营地。
Envoy? What are you? Huh. You're full of surprises. I was expecting someone else, but I think this could work out better for both of us.
从头到尾都是你。
I'd prefer savior if we're handing out epithets. Once you hear my side, Envoy, I think you'll agree I was only trying to help. Unfortunately, I didn't want to, but he forced my hand. I thought I was clever, skimming a little extra pay from the coffers, surveying the city's weaknesses, laying caches for my friends. But it was like Monato had eyes in the back of his head. Nothing got by him. I tried to explain, but he couldn't understand. Wouldn't. He'd completely closed his ears to reason.
So you killed him for it?
Poor bastard was always too principled for his own good. After a fashion.
Unbelievable.
They were a means to an end. Don't tell them that. Everyone likes to feel special. They were supposed to kill Verano, but I guess they figured they could get more coin if they ran something back to us instead. Idiots. I'm preparing Emerald Stair for Adir's arrival, obviously. Your people have already pacified Paradise, with contracts and clean water, with promises of safety. I want to be safe. I want all of us to finally be safe.
You've got a hazy picture at best, Dorso. The envoy was still killed in the street, and Ludwine's idea of pacified is anything but.
And I know what empires do, Envoy. They expand. Your soldiers would have come here sooner or later. I'm helping us avoid resistance and bloodshed when they do. Fiori's wasting away, Envoy. Animancy isn't helping us anymore, if it ever did. But no one in the city wants to admit it.
So you murder your own?
Our crops rot in the fields, bears turn to beasts and attack on sight. The very earth disintegrates beneath our feet.
You blame us for the problems we've been trying to solve. How can you be so short-sighted?
I think it's time we accept help from someone stronger, wealthier, better organized. From Adir. Then we can turn things around like Paradis has. Maybe then we can be safe.
We came here to escape control, to choose our own path, but no. She wants to throw away everything we built.
But Vidarro, Quilici, Captain Asierno, they're too proud. They won't do what must be done. So I'm doing it myself. Fior simply cannot survive the way things are.
You have no authority to make that judgment. All you have is fear and resentment.
Monato and Verano disagreed.
Then you disagree. You don't turn on your own.
Their voices had power in the Rangers. Too much power. And when they spoke, the others listened. Now they'll have to listen to me.
连两个都是支持他，有勇有谋。我操！我选3吧，因为叛徒都是要被人唾弃的，而且更何况他还是没有正式跟人家接触跟讨论过的，对不对？就像2战那些，你有真正事先接触的才反水，你才事后才会被人家赦免。临阵反水的没有人要理你，你有先谈好条件的。
I don't live in Adir. I don't want to. Emerald Stair is my home, and it's wasting away. I can only look after my people, get us what we need.
You've got a strange way of doing that.
Only Adir can help us now. Maybe that would be for the best. We've had decades to secure this valley. What do we have to show for it? Dead homesteads, dead farmers, dead fields.
There was life once, but you gave up on it.
And a city full of animancers who don't give a single shit about us. It wasn't always like this. I wish you could have seen the valley I grew up in. The steep green hills, mist twining about the peaks. Birds, deer, the many little creatures of the trees scurrying among the leaves. Most of them gone now. Sometimes, in high summer, the sunset would catch the rice paddies just right, and the whole valley would glow coral violet. A world on fire with life, that never burned. We ate well and slept through the night. I don't want to live through this time if there's nothing better on the other side.
我已经把那个铁脚猴都除掉了，跟他讲一下，看他会不会崩溃。
You killed them all, but they were going to. So all of this was for nothing. I betrayed the Rangers. I killed my friends for nothing.
Now you know how it feels, traitor. Clinging to a dream with both hands, only to feel it slipping from your grasp.
Gods curse you, envoy.
哦，直接受不了了，直接红温了。我来刺杀他。在看有没有电到他。好像伤害没有那么……哦，直接秒杀了！不知道这么猛啊，直接秒杀了。哦，没想到他竟然是这个黑洞，竟然是直接秒杀。好，我们去游侠总部吧，去回报一下吧。可是我好像看那个互动地图，好像干掉，听他的话干掉队长，好像拿到的装是比较好的。
I sincerely hope you have some good news for me. My gods, I can't believe this.
Helia's wings uplift us.
She's been with the Rangers since she was a girl. She trained most of my men.
This is... Fotito. This is big, Asierno.
What happened to her? Where is she now? Without the trial? Good gods.
Frontier justice. That's what a traitor deserves.
Masoni, please. Where's her body now, envoy?
I'll send a few of the senior rangers out to find her.
Thank you, Maso. What a nightmare. I don't know what I'm going to tell my men. A traitor in the Rangers. This situation beggars belief. Do you know why she did it?
Be serious, envoy.
She was always talking about how we needed strength. Do you remember, Maso? More swords, more coin. And she complained that animancy wouldn't fix our problems. But I didn't think she had so little faith in Fior.
No one took her seriously.
Evidently, she was quite serious about it. I didn't want to believe it could be her. Gods beyond, what a mess. Thank you, Envoy. Ranger Monato has been properly avenged, and now I have a lot of work to do to rebuild my squad. Agreed. I need to be more careful with who I trust in the future. Here's your reward. It's the least we can do for your assistance. Thank you again. Step carefully out there. We are living through strange times.
I hope this at least lets them.
看一下他给的是哪一个？啊，是这个。子弹会弹射，这么厉害啊！哇塞，这把还蛮强。我升等了吗？哦，我升等了，太好了。我们现在是走这个法师类型的，所以我们就点这个智力吧。点智力还是点力量啊？加伤害。算了，点智力吧。看看，我们终于有一个战绩啦！现在的爆裂剑，这就是我刚刚讲，我开头讲的。我其实我等于说，我后面拿到了一个可能精良的法术书，我这个点数就得洗掉了，因为它里面我点了2点爆裂剑，我也不敢用，为什么？因为它消耗的精粹太高了。我原本可以打完战斗，那个掉落的精碎碎片捡一捡可以持平的，突然就变成消耗过半，对，所以就它这个是有一点，它这个设计有一点强迫你一定要带法术书，因为我目前看起来没有看到什么，除非后面独特装备有给，不然我没有看到什么更有效的这个恢复精粹的手段。拿到一个寄生法杖，就他还是要近战。哎，算了，爆裂这也没用。我已经点了，那个提示还会延迟。哦，他们2个看起来都有话要讲，所以我们传到这个营地，然后呢对完话，然后就来出来这边解这个主线吧。
It's getting late. I should be asleep by now, but as usual, I can't silence my thoughts.
I still can't believe it. Dorso was betraying her brothers-in-arms, all in the name of saving Emerald Stair. At least she got what was coming to her. Well, yeah. But there are some lines you don't cross. Turning on your own people is one of them. I'd hope this one doesn't. But you're right. More often than not. Just please be careful. I saw this in Rauatai's campaign in the Deadfire. You start out with purpose. You're fighting alongside your brothers and sisters, battling pirates and slavers, bringing civilization to a lawless, divided land. But then, You're breaking up villages, turning tribes against their rivals. It gets messy, fast.
Oh, 我们要选3吗？不然这样3这样算不算狡辩？
I'm less worried about who has a claim to the living lands than what Adir might ask of you. Same as Rawatai asked of us. Empires are hungry, Envoy, and they devour their own too. Don't let your allegiances turn you into something you can't live with. I'll be here if you need me.
I doubt my soul is worth much to an animancer.
I can't believe it. Ranger Dorsal, a traitor to Fior Messiverno. Shame we had to kill her. But at least now she can't hurt anyone else. The damage is contained, more or less. I'm glad you think so. Still, it's a shame. Dorso gave up on the dream of Fior Messiverno. Blamed animancers for the problems we tried to solve. And I hate to see anyone lose hope. That's all for now. Let me know if there's anything else. Not before I've done some reading.
Could we not just move the machines at Naku today? I'm trying to work, but these mystics keep getting in my way.
哦，这门是可以开的。现在找到，竟然有一个落网之鱼，没有搜刮到。好吧，我还进主线吧。哇，好不尊敬啊！把祭坛前面的这个祭祀的这些水果都拿走，哇，大不敬！还以为里面没人。
There should be some equipment by the Adra pillar.
We remember these walls. Yes, we have been here.
那我先搜刮一下。
My lord. Please, my friend. You can take what you want from the shrine. Just don't break anything. Lamps and incense can be replaced. But the treasure he took... Forgive me. These are difficult times for a man of faith. While I was at prayer, a bandit held a knife to my throat and stole the reliquary of Saint Widewin. Just look at me. Gods, I'm still shaking.
啊，就是这个任务，直接还给他吧。
You did. To think a godlike would deliver this back to me. I feel blessed, truly. Wherever he is, Aothis smiles on you. Wait, are you suggesting he stole it for some purpose? Are you accusing Aothis of murder? How could you say such a thing? I'd heard the rumors that he walked among us, but to think the God of Light could be to blame for such horrors. No, it's beyond belief.
Agents of violence. They cloak themselves in warmth and light and spread like wildfire.
I feel for him, but he is wrong. The truth of Aothis remains. It can't be that simple. I can't worship Aothis blindly. But if what you say is true, I find myself lost, godlike. I look at this relic now and I wonder whether all my years of service were a waste. I will. I pity my own suffering when I should learn from it instead. I'll pray for the thief's absolution. If not in this life, then maybe the next. Thank you for telling me all this.
That was a very generous
可是我觉得俄萨斯信徒应该不可能还要存在的啦，因为在王爷列岛那些事情发生之后，应该全部人都要迫害这个俄萨斯的这些教师。
Well, here we are on the precipice of discovery, armed and ready for mischief.
I'm 2 out of 3 anyway.
Before we get started, indulge me. What are you excited to learn about?
我继续讲刚刚那个，应该是俄萨斯的信徒，应该是要到处被人家迫害的，对。不过也合理的，因为这边是昂然之地嘛，所以他们跑来这边避难，或者是这边比较没有那么不是很清楚王爷列岛那边的事情，他们可能就会觉得，到底是不是真的？就这边就没有那么强烈，所以可能我们会觉得说啊，俄萨斯那个1、2代全部那些鸟。1代也不算是不是他了，2代的全部的都是他搞的，什么这边还有他的信徒跟那个祭司，对不对？可能是昂然之地吧，这边比较偏僻，然后所以他刚那个牧师也是讲啊，我有听说，对，就大家是不是对这个消息半信半疑，或者是拒绝相信？因为主要的那些受害者不是在这里，对他讲可能只是个传闻。
Good, we're on the same page. Now, I'm going to tap into the pillar's dormant energy and give it a good shake. In layman's terms, I'm chumming the water and daring the dream scourge to show its ugly face. No, but it should get us results. All right. Drawing on the energy of the phantasmal focus, I'll start with a low-frequency ethereal vibration. I've got nothing. You?
Like I could go for some pie.
Shit. All right, adjusting the frequency. The focus is warming up. I hope that's a good sign. Let me know if you feel something. Who knows how your godlike nature will react to this. Brace yourself. We're going to pin this bastard down.
Are you sure about this?
Don't worry, I'm a professional. Now, here goes nothing.
Souls in a circle, a whirlpool. We twine. We twine.
Hey, I think I got something. The focus twitched, like a fishing rod. Is that a door? Not the result I was looking for, but a result nonetheless. Hold on to that feeling. We might need it again. Right before the door opened, I detected something in the Adra. I was right. The Dream Scourge has a point of origin. We can study the affliction from here, but I don't know that we can stop it. Oh dear. How do I explain? Imagine tossing a pebble and hoping it flattens a blade of grass on the other side of the world. That's what you're asking, and it won't work. There's an even greater chance we end up like my parents. Sorry, but no. If we want to stop the Dream Scourge, we still need to learn more about the source of the affliction. I hate to say it, but we'll get better results at the base of the pillar, where the energies are more potent. We shouldn't jump to conclusions. After you.
But we gotta see what's down there now.
哎呀，这边还有没有什么东西可以拿？
I wish you could have met them. They would have liked you.
Gods! Did you open that door? I've been praying here for ages. And in all that time, I've never found a way down to the lower levels. Not one. You're going down there, aren't you? I tell the acolytes to walk softly for a reason. Something is alive down there. Or if not alive, moving. Whatever it is, it knows only the depths. If you don't return, I'll tell the others what happened.
Don't leave out how tall, good-looking, and charming we all are.
那个路人竟然还有个对我们开了门还有个反应。哇，看来这边没有什么东西可以翻。
I did not bring us here to explore, but clearly something wants to be found.
Does this feel like the start of a cautionary campfire tale to anyone else?
I wonder, did you open the door? Or did the door open for you? Incredible. These ruins are untouched. We are the first to disturb them. When was the last time anyone left these passages? It must have been centuries. No, millennia. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. We'll talk more once we reach the bottom.
那个门的机关不知道在哪里。好，在这边。现在有吉雅塔，所以不用去用法术，它直接就可以启动。
Those artifacts you found fit together somehow. Let's have a closer look at camp.
最后一块图腾，所以我们这边的这个图腾算是集满了。
Another soul for the wheel. Couldn't have done it better.
That'll show him.
哦，忘了把 先忘了把它放上来。
Charge it up. Just a little spark.
两边都可以走，这是来的地方，快点！耍笨。
No, the knife.
Look out. Some kind of trap.
哦，这个是有毒的。
Come on! Come on!
太多怪了。哇，好硬！
Beautiful. Life into death. To think it survived all these years.
It's surprisingly colorful. Not sure what I expected.
We've seen godless architecture before, but I've never seen godless art until now. Just imagine how much has been lost. We should keep moving. I don't mean to slow us down.
这壁画画的还不错。
A little power goes a long way.
说呢，法术流的打 BOSS 是有一点点，不晓得是不是我点的这个法术的闪电，这个闪电剑是很好用的。
I would not go swimming if I were you, unless you wish to meet your maker. There must be a way across. If not underwater, perhaps over it, with the help of some ice.
Charge it up.
A little power goes a long way.
它这是什么东西开了？ 该是把那个电给关了吧。这边还有个草。
Unseen, unknown.
What in the name of Aora is that?
You, think it's sleeping?
Never seen anything like it before. I don't believe it's a statue. No, this was alive once. The people who lived here were terrified of it. Whatever this is.
Never a dull moment with you in charge.
硬。你有一个野蛮人。我这个。怎么打起来一点都没有我好像是这个地图毕业的感觉，打的还是挺辛苦的。
Death into life. Interesting. The godless clearly had some ideas about reincarnation, even if they didn't have a god.
Every other culture I've come across reveres the gods, even if they give them different names and pictures.
Can you imagine life without any gods to guide your destiny? Without anyone shepherding you this way and that? Of course I can imagine it, but I'll wager you have a harder time.
They're having it. Ready to make an entrance?
How did they even get down here? Clever things must have their own secret entrance. I'll say it. I'm impressed.
哎呀！
Nicely done.
掉下来。哇，是不是有谁会补血？不行，秒不掉他哎！
守这个。Not bad, envoy. If there are any monsters left, show yourselves. Some of us have work to do. I guess that means the coast is clear. Let's have a look at the Adra pillar.
他怎么这个 BOSS 还比其他那几只树妖还要好打
？Charge it up.
Come, heal us through the Adra.
Just a little spark. A little power goes a long way.
Find us.
Just a little spark. Charging.
Quiet as the depths.
先把附近晃一晃。哦，给了个觉醒破，那还不错啊。 哎呀，没跳上去。
We've backed the Dream Scourge into a corner. I say we pin it down here and now, before it wriggles away from us. The Godless erected many important sites around Pillars of Adra, though I can't speak to their motives. The last time we tried this, you felt something, yes? Maybe it had to do with your godlike nature. Try making contact with the Adra this time. It could only help. The effect should be stronger than before. Brace yourself.
You are here. You who bring us kind words and soothing thoughts, we welcome you. The mourners are gone now. Only the memories remain.
那他在这边就露出了这个，这算是他的这个神帽吗？
Lonely, yes. None have asked after us in so long. We open to you as a bud before the sun. We once belonged to the green and the wild. A people lived there once. They loved us as we loved them. They brought their dead to us. We used to dip our fingers, wade in the confluence of souls. We dream, the land stirs. We become. They brought their prayers to us. We answered. Our people died. Their books were burned. No one was left to speak our name. But we remember an age of connection and wholeness. Our eyes opened. We were the earth, the sky, many into a whole. We touched the mountains and they molded to our fingerprints. The Akita twined around us. They sang in awe of what we made. They called us the gardener, steward of life. Sabado. Our spark found you when you dreamed in the womb. Godlike, they said. But we have felt in you the seed of connection. We have sought you, called to you. And you reach back. We have not known the joy of companionship in so long. The rot. We feel it too. Our hands are bound. Find us. Free us. The rot that festers seeps into us as well. Our cage is far from here, buried in the garden, beyond the poison sea. Would that we knew. Our jailers gave us no explanation. But perhaps the ancients who were beloved to us, perhaps they can quiet the questions in your mind. Go to the halls of the Tabaru Sanakis. We will try to explain. Those who cherish us, the chosen of the Akita, wait there. They will show you the way to the garden, to our prison. We will cleanse this rot with you once our hands are unbound. Find us in the garden. We twine, we await. First, let us offer you a sliver of our power, a boon to help you survive and find us. Will you accept it? A mere drop in a lake, a drop of our blood, our sap, given to nourish you. We would never harm you, seed of our soul. We could not, even if we wished such cruelty. Your will remains yours. Take it with our blessing. Now hurry to the halls of the Tabaru Sinakis. Bind us. Free us.
帕达尔之刺。
You're awake. Finally. We really pushed the phantasmal focus to its limits.
You were out a long time. We gotta start bringing pillows.
For a second there, I thought... Actually, never mind what I thought. Something like that. While you were out, I got some clear readings of the Dream Scourge. I've tracked its origin to the center of the living lands, somewhere deep in the untouched wilderness. You've heard of it? Fascinating. Maybe someone knows about this garden of yours. If we find the garden, we can cut off the Dream Scourge at its source. I hesitate to bring it up, but you were muttering while you were out. Had quite a lot to say. Whatever you were communing with, it had a spiritual energy I've encountered before, though only in traces. It must be connected to the Dream Scourge. Perhaps they share a similar origin. Yes, Sapadal. Who are they? What are they to you? Excuse me? Sapadal is a god? But that's impossible. How could we have missed this? A trapped god. Trapped. And you spoke to them through the Adra. Maybe that tells us something. Not the Adra itself, but how it comes together. We've long theorized that all Adra is connected, but that changed when Animancers came to the Living Lands. The Adra here is severed from the rest of Eora, connected only to itself, or so we believe. If Sapadal speaks and works through Adra, then the Living Lands is their prison, their tomb. No need to worry. I'm a professional, remember? We know the Dream Scourge is coming from this garden of yours. Maybe Sapadal can help us fight it.
I got a headache just thinking about it, and I'm not the one with the god knocking around in there.
The real question is, where do I start? Doesn't ring a bell, but maybe someone's heard of it before. We'll find the source of the Dream Scourge in the garden, but we have to find the garden first.
Then that's where we start.
Let's return to Fior Mesiverno. Banished or not, maybe I can squeeze a few answers out of my colleagues. I wouldn't count on it. Besides, what good am I to Fior Mesiverno anymore? The farms, the community, my research, they all depend on animancy. But the Dream Scourge is the end of animancy. The end of the Living Lands as we know it. We should leave this place and its memories. There's nothing more for us here.
Finding a secret entrance and discovering a new god. Not bad for a day's work.
Wait. We smell the musk of war. We hear the clash of steel.
好吧，看来这一段还没那么快结束。我刚刚在想说，这个萨帕达尔是不是利用这个 灵魂这个灵魂瘟疫，然后来引诱我们去救他。然后他之所以被关起来，其实可能是代表他之前有做了一些什么毁灭性的事情，然后是被其他的神给特别封印在这个昂然之地。不然很奇怪，因为远古文明后来也毁了。我记得我们之前看的远古记忆，后来不是也有说明说，好像是不知道是谁的愤怒，然后把那个给他毁了，对不对？说明这个沙帕达尔是有一点比较偏邪恶的。我看起来应该铁脚为了杀过来。
No. In the distance. They fade now. Was it a dream?
I lost you for a second there. Something the matter? Oh no. Let's go. You take the lead.
Come on. There's a way up those stairs.
There is such a thing as learning too much. The mortal mind can only take so many revelations at a time. What we discovered here, it changes everything.
A hidden god in the living lands. Who knew?
Oh my god.
从这边出来。
No!
Andra's debts. This was no accident.
现在不让传送。
What happened? Who did this? The city's under attack. Come, there isn't a moment to waste. We won't learn anything standing here. I just hope Quilichi is all right.
Something's burning. Doesn't look like the city, but let's make sure no one's hurt.
I can't believe this. All things considered, Fior Messiverno looks undamaged. Surprising when you consider the state of our defenses. Whoever started this fight didn't come prepared to finish it. I will be happy to oblige them. Someone made a dangerous enemy today.
We'll fight them with you, Giada.
They break. They bind us.
"他到现在他不让我传送。这边有商人，顺便跟他卖个东西。
I didn't see the attack, but I could hear it from afar. Sounds like the Rangers put up quite a fight. Good for them.
我操，你这个语气怪怪的，你马上在看戏啊？不对劲啊！
I hope everyone is all right. My people settled these lands in the name of freedom. It took 50 years, but our oppressors caught up to us. I hate living in interesting times.
I couldn't agree with you more.
Again and again they strike.
这个主线比我出乎我意料，没想到我原本以为把铁脚卫打光了就不会被打了，完全没料到啊！因为我以为就是会顺顺的跑到下个地图继续去解，难道还有这一段？不过他现在不让我传送，我是不太懂。这一路上还会有什么对话吗？
There's the city. Thank goodness. It's good to see home again, if only for a moment. Soon the Rangers will strengthen their defenses. They'll hunt down anyone behind the attack. I almost pity them.
Me too.
How many thorns must we claw out?
Those bodies are wearing steel garrote armor. Is this what Alfir was planning?
"这门还能走吗？"
Envoy, over it. I see you avoided the carnage. A few of your countrymen, well, let's say they didn't know any better.
You may have beaten us today, but it's only a matter of time before Emerald Stair bends the knee.
Shut up already. Since the two of you are kin, I thought maybe you could help squeeze some information out of him. Mind you, there's no need to literally squeeze it out of him. Unless you think that would help. What we know is this. The Steel Garrote marched on Emerald Stair. We're pretty sure they wanted to set us to the torch.
And you taught them the error of their ways. Well done.
Just doing my job, same as you. What I don't understand is why they came unprepared. Few soldiers, and even fewer supplies. If the Steel Garrote wanted to start a fire, they sure didn't pack a lot of firepower.
That was you?
Well, that's one question down. I'm sure the governor will want to thank you himself. As for our friend here...
It doesn't matter what you do to me. The living lands will be brought to heel.
Now listen. I am a patient man. But if you don't give us some answers, the envoy here is going to rip you in half. See what I'm talking about?
Your threats are wasted, Kerr. I have nothing to hide. Inquisitor Ludwig gave the order to march on Fior Mesiverno. Her faith takes her deeper inland, or else she would have been at the vanguard. Emerald Stair's on the precipice of disaster. Crops have failed, the townsfolk are defiant, and it's only gotten worse.
I fail to see how attacking my city helps the situation.
The coast is the only habitable corner in the living lands. We can unite as one people, or let the wilderness take us. What choice do we have? Tradition led this place to its doom. Better that it burn, and the people start again.
That is, without a doubt, the worst justification for a war crime that I have ever heard.
Speaking from experience, people don't usually unite as one after you've attacked their home.
Ludwig tried to hasten the inevitable. Nothing more.
Aha! Now that is what I call a thorough confession. What do you want to do with him? As an adherent, I trust you know how to handle it by the book.
Violence is the language of the Steel Garrote. Nothing less will get through to them.
I say throw back the little ones if they're not in a position to do more harm. Besides, he's probably more scared of what'll happen if you don't kill him.
Your call, envoy.
送回大使馆，高歌离席。
I will see to it myself. Too bad the road to Paradise is in bad shape. Our wagon might hit a bump or two.
As much as I want to rip his soul apart, maybe he's more useful to us alive.
But you can't send me back to Ludwig. Don't you know what she does to people who fail her?
I can't wait to find out. See you around, envoy. Thanks again.
A fate worse than death, perhaps. But fate nonetheless.
Good call. He's Ludwig's problem. Not worth getting your hands dirty.
You did right by us. Thank you, Envoy.
看一下城内的状态有没有变。
Envoy, I owe you my gratitude, and perhaps an apology. They tell me you're the reason our city is standing. You took care of the steel garrote before they could cause any serious damage. We are keeping the sentries on high alert, but there's been no sign of a second wave yet.
No doubt your Inquisitor is aware of what happened here. You've made a powerful enemy.
We're a long way from Adir. You might find allies in short supply. As for us, we're still standing, but our enemies have little patience for failure.
We agree on one thing. The Steel Garrote have declared war on the Living Lands.
Call it what you like. This is an invasion of our sovereign territory.
What happened here is no coincidence. Their forces already have an unshakable grip on Paradis. Today marks a notable victory, but we've only bought ourselves time, not salvation. Tell us, what of your research into the Dream Scourge? Assuming our governor wants to hear it.
I may have spoken in haste before.
Pardon?
The very notion that the Dream Scourge had blighted our farms, it was too awful to acknowledge.
Are you being serious right now?
I am. The sanctuary my family built was falling apart on my watch, and I wasn't strong enough to bear it. You must understand. My mother is the Dream Scourge. I hoped against reason that she might recover, but her mind grew as blighted as our lands. To face reality would mean upending my city, throwing order into chaos, and admitting she was truly gone. I'm so sorry, Giata.
Don't waste your apologies on me. This changes nothing between us.
I don't expect your forgiveness, but I will do everything in my power to make this right. Whatever you have to say, I'm ready to hear it.
You want me to do the talking? Very well. The evidence is clear. The Living Lands is on the edge of an ecological disaster, both physically and spiritually. We may know the origin of the Dream Scourge. By following it back to the source, perhaps we can reverse the damage. Now for the bad news. An undiscovered god rests in the heart of this island. Until we know more about its nature, we are powerless to stop it.
But this is madness! When I said I was ready for the truth, I didn't mean... Quilici, tell him it's madness!
Envoy, is it true?
You have no idea what this thing is, but now you're helping it?
He may be compelled by his godlike nature. It would be wise not to question such things. First the Dream Scourge, then the Steel Garrote, and now... what does this god of yours want us to do? Pray?
This is no time for a theological discussion. Our survival hangs on a knife's edge. We can't remain in Emerald Stair.
But we can return someday. Rebuild your father's legacy. We should relocate to Thirdborn. It's the only settlement that can take us all.
No. I say we go to Paradis.
他决定他们要跑去哪里了。
The This is madness. It's suicide.
Wrong. It's self-preservation. And my father would have agreed. As long as we are animancers, the adherents will pursue us to the ends of the earth. Instead, we lay low, hide in plain sight, let them believe we're beaten, and bide our time.
While we hide, the Dream Scourge will tear this island apart. At least in Thirdborn, we can practice animancy freely. We can't gamble with our existence. The political climate of the Living Lands is too dangerous.
Thirdborn has its own problems. Paradise is more secure, but it would mean living under Adheran rule. I don't like our options, but that shouldn't stop us from committing to one.
Thirdborn's full of hardy types. Lots of former soldiers and mercenaries. A rough bunch, but good to have at your back. It's also farther from the Steel Garrote's base of operations. That's where I'd make my stand.
要让他们去选。我不太确定这个铸魂学最后会不会对大结局有帮助，所以这让我有点犯难。因为我们前面的剧情其实大部分的铸魂学的这些学者好像都不太关心这个灵魂瘟疫的，只有吉雅塔嘛。现在是我们证实了之后，他们才要开始投入资源。但是其实转移到三子城，等于大型设备带不过去了，所以我是很怕在那边又有 bad ending， 对不对？有三子城的本地势力又跟他们起冲突或什么。当然，我不确定这个游戏有没有做到这么细，就是它的这个主线有没有做到这么细，它的这个路线有没有这么多？因为怎么说呢？因为这一款游戏的制作规模，目前感觉起来好像还是不够磅礴的，这让我有点犯难。去三子城、天堂城，如果我有机会玩第二轮的话，我们再选。
We'll be proud to lend our strength to theirs, as animancers and as fellow expatriates.
I have my misgivings, but you helped my father leave the republics. I trust you to help us again. What of you, Envoy? Where does the hunt for the Dream Scourge take you next?
Oh, I do.
Yardsley? Don't tell me you were getting swept up in all of this.
Oh, really? You should know better, darling. Any talk of the Akita, and I will appear. If you're looking for the garden, I can probably lead the way. You're already aware that I'm the foremost Akitan scholar in the Living Lands, and...
Godless scholar, my dear. No one outside of academia uses their proper name.
Ah, right. Layman's terms. Thank you, darling. Well, to make a long story short, I think I can lead you to the garden. 30 years of research, and I think the answer lies in a ruin called Naku Kubel, which is in Shatterscarp, so we've got to get there now. Though the city was saved, my research wasn't, which means the Steel Garrote knows just as much as we do. Wait. If they know as much as we do, they know to go to Shatterscarp too. Oh no. I've got to warn Temerity. Meet me in Thirdborn, all right? You can't miss it. It's the only bit of civilization in Shatterscarp, if you can call it that. I'll finish getting ready here and just meet you there.
Ugh, what a whirlwind. God, I love that tiny woman. I would be surprised if your journey were that uncomplicated, but... stranger things have happened.
For what it's worth, I vouch for Yardsley. She's a good friend, and a bad influence. Right now, we could use both.
There's a gate to the north, which will take you to Shatterscarp. It's guarded by some of our best rangers. I'll make sure they grant you safe passage. May the gods protect you, Envoy.
Exploring
Sharing the living lands with a friend. What more could I
刚
ask
好
for?
直接到15等。
Back to Shatterscarp then.
这个偷袭感觉好像就只有在城外那一圈打，根本没打进来的感觉。雅兹利说他的那个研究成果被偷，我觉得是蛮牵强的。
Welcome back. Care to take a look?
他们没有什么特殊对话。哇，刚好又升了一级。像我们这个爆裂剑太好了，就可以2等。这样我们这个 build 就比较完整了，一个主打 A1 的一个风格。哎，他给了2点，这么好。哎，我下一等要点什么？哦，对哦，可以召唤这个野熊盟友了。但是竟然是弄出了一个这个嘲讽，算是把人家拉过来。好吧，点这个野熊吧。录多久了？可是也录了好一阵子。
Gods, what happened here?
这边我不知道为什么我一直爬不上去。哦，看现在爬上来了，哦，原来是角度不对。对啊，之前我路过这边的。
A moment of your time, if you please. From one adherent to another. I go where the Inquisitor commands, just as you go where the Emperor commands. You interfered in our plans. Take it from me, Inquisitor Ludwig isn't at all pleased. That's exactly why I've come to make amends.
You lost the fight for Emerald Stair, and now you ask for peace? Don't make me laugh.
Hear me out. That's all I ask. Believe it or not, the Steel Garrote owe you an apology on behalf of Inquisitor Ludwig.
Bring us her severed head, and I'll consider it.
That temperament of yours is exactly the problem she's trying to solve. Our soldiers were poised to attack Fior Messiverno. If you had been made aware, you would not have interfered. You might not want to admit it, but Fior Messiverno is a settlement in decline. Weak government, chaotic farming, dangerous research. What exactly do you think you saved?
My home, which you have no right to condemn.
You've done nothing but condemn it. Shouting matches with the governor, open defiance.
I fight for my home because I cherish it, you shit-eating worm. Because I want us to survive.
Then I hope you enjoy the consequences of your actions. Fior Messiverno's reliance on animancy and stubborn individualism has done nothing but drag the living lands down with them. Do you care about the stability of the island? Then judge it harshly. Look, I'm only telling you this because you deserve to know Ludwig's intentions for the living lands. If Heelgard cannot maintain a grip on the living lands, then the Steel Garrote will simply take it from him. You see, the Steel Garrote answer to the Burned Queen, not your floundering empire. And we will break from Adir if that's what it takes. And while he frets in the throne room, his puppy dog soldiers will chase their own tails. Inquisitor Ludwig sees something in you, Envoy. She wants to cultivate your potential, as she did mine. You don't want to get between her and the fate of the living land, so let this serve as a warning. Our grasp on this island is going to tighten, even if it costs us allies along the way. Acceptable losses. What you do with this information is up to you, but don't get in our way a second time. It won't end well. Perceptive. Maybe Ludwig was right about you. Before I let you go, a little bird sang in my ear that you're going to Shatterscarp.
Word travels fast.
Of course, that would have been impossible with these meddlesome rangers in the way.
You didn't?
I took the liberty of removing them. It's a shame, really. Honorable folk to the last. Ludwig told me to open a path for you by any means necessary, and that's exactly what I did. When you arrive in Shatterscarp, give this letter to Temerty. Compliments of the Inquisitor. No need to keep you any longer. Let's hope our next meeting is under more favorable circumstances.
好，这边可以直接打他，打得赢吗？最好看起来就是装备就比较好。好了，我们这时候要假惺惺啊，我们选3好了。
I am not.
Hold on to that feeling. You'll need it in the days to come. Be seeing you, Envoy. Sooner or later.
You've seen what happens when the Steel Garrote mess with Emerald Stair. I suggest you remember it.
Trust me, we will. Good luck with her, Envoy. You're going to need it.
I didn't think it was possible to hate someone this much.
I'm sleeping with one eye open tonight.
The Steel Garrote have our eye on Emerald Stair.
这边没有什么东西啊。哦，在这里。 哦，难怪，原来他是要从这边走过来。那所以我从那边跳上去算是蒙到了，他那边建模没有弄好，没有把他完全堵死。好，前往下一个地图。
You came to Emerald Stair looking for answers, and now we're leaving with more questions. How do we fight the Dream Scourge? What can we do about Sapadal? And where is the garden? Not to mention why the Steel Garrote attacked my fucking home. Then we had better prepare to fight back. We were lucky this time. My people will be on high alert, but that doesn't mean we're safe. The Steel Garrote are hunting anyone who doesn't conform to their vision of the living lands. Our freedom is on the line.
So on top of the Dream Scourge rotting your fields and turning kith and beast alike into monsters, now we've got a Death Guard Inquisitor and the Steel Garrote dogging our steps. Do you think Ludwig will try something similar in Thirdborn? Then she better come prepared. Thirdborners are a rugged bunch, and they don't give ground. Lots of Rawatayans, scramble routes with no prospects back home, washouts from military or mercenary life, sailors in search of steady ground. Add to that a motley assortment of pirates, free spirits, and people who like living under the loosest grasp of the law, and you've got Thirdborn. But rumor has it something's amiss in Shatterscarp. Strange dreams, disappearances, people wandering into the desert and never returning, or coming back, changed. That's what I'm afraid of.
At least that tells us we're on the right track. This Dream Scourge is one of the weirdest things I've ever tried to hunt. Town full of survivors. Anyone who decides to stake out a life in Shatterscarp isn't someone you want to mess with. Good enough people, though. And generally less likely to rob you or bore you to sleep than other places we've been.
Everything we learned in Nakutadek points us to the garden. Thirdborn is just a stepping stone. But we don't know anything about the garden. It could be a myth, or a metaphor. Whatever the garden is or isn't, it's our only lead. We find the garden, we find the Dream Scourge. Yatsley is a master of the unknown and the unknowable. No mystery eludes her for long. If there is a path to the garden, Yatsley can lead us to it. I'd follow her anywhere.
Or maybe that god poking around your soul could give us directions.
Ask for directions? Why didn't I think of that? Kai, that's brilliant! Whatever Sapadal tells us will be filtered through a lot of metaphysical noise, but it couldn't hurt to try. This is so exciting. Sapadal? It's Giata. Giata Castel. If you're listening, could you please tell us more about the garden?
Castel. Castel. Why does this name sing to us? A voice through murky water. The garden stifles the notes. We cannot reach. The branches bind.
Did you get anything? What? No. They must have confused me with someone else. Clearly your link to Sapadal isn't as strong as it was in Nakutadek. But I'll take it over nothing.
I'll pass. I've heard too many ghost stories that start this way.
Right. If I wanted to waste time, that's what I carry a flute for.
Just me, then? Really? No one else has a question for the god of the living lands? Fascinating.
So let me see if I got this straight. We're looking for the garden, which might not exist.
Our best lead is Yatsley, an eccentric scholar who's gone ahead to Thirdborn, where the Dream Scourge may be ravaging.
Don't look at me. I was fine going back to Paradise. Stop. You're aggravating my ulcer.
Listen, I hate to ask this, but while we're in Shatterscarp, there's something I need to do. Something I owe Tama. There's an old battlefield near some Pogrunan ruins. Area called the Shark's Teeth. Tama lost his badge there. I need to get it. Thanks.
Takes courage to go back for something you lost. I wouldn't have it in me.
Get some rest. Sleep is good for the soul. I wanted to say, for all of its imperfections, Fior Messiverno deserves a second chance. Thanks to you, it has one. I won't forget it. I couldn't care less what they think. Just to be safe, we should remain vigilant. Sleep in shifts. Look after each other. Rest while you can. Our enemies are organized, but so are we.
Let's get some rest. We have a long day ahead of us. Right. Give me a minute. There's a lot going on right now.
It's okay to be nervous.
Growing up, I heard stories of a garden in the center of the living lands. I thought they were just stories. No one living had ever gone there. We were just supposed to protect it. No one has ever been there as long as anyone knows. There's legends, right, but nothing more. Nandru's the only one who went to the garden and made it back. Which is interesting because you kind of look like him. Founder of Solace. Lived centuries ago. More or less the biggest hero in Galawain's tusks. You have the same kind of face things from what I've seen. You know, the, fungus stuff. Well, yeah, at first. There's been a lot more reasons to do that since then. There's a resemblance, sure, but no one alive has ever seen Nandru other than a few statues and descriptions and legends. And we're talking about oral legends, passed down for centuries. Who knows what's true and what's dramatic license? I guess. I wouldn't put too much faith in it. There's just a lot of stuff from the old times that isn't as true as we think it is. A lot changes here over centuries. Like the garden. Even if someone knew how to get there, they knew it hundreds of years ago. Who knows if the garden even exists anymore? I don't. You seem to talk to Sapadal in dreams and visions. Maybe you can find something that way. Look, this gods and magic stuff isn't my expertise. Come find me when you need an antivenom for a windsnake bite. I need to get some rest before I get all worked up. Grab me when you're ready to go.
I knew the Steel Garrote were up to no good.
No one ever plans anything nice in a hidden working.
We should talk. What happened to Fior Messiverno could have been worse. A lot worse. But that doesn't mean the Living Lands is safe. If anything, it's more dangerous by far. And in my case, it's inevitable. No matter where Animancers go, someone is always trying to kill us. Nothing enrages the gods more than mortals in pursuit of knowledge. Don't worry. I plan to hold the mortals accountable. As many of them as it takes. Listen to me. A failed Animancer lashing out at everything in reach. Even with all the tools at my disposal. I couldn't stop the Dream Scourge. And I couldn't save my people. How do I live up to my family's example when I can't even help myself? Don't take this the wrong way, but you weren't raised by Animancers. Their ambition destroyed our family. Now it falls to me to find meaning in my parents' sacrifice. And I don't know if I can. I have some pondering to do. Let me know if there's anything else. Sending my people to Thirdborn. It's a good arrangement. They get a roof over their heads. The city gets animancers, and everyone gets along. For once. We should try to harness that goodwill, or replicate it, like an energy source. On the other hand, maybe not. Look, I know you didn't come to this island to help us. And yet you were here when others would have looked away. Despite everything that happened, it means a lot. In that case, let's go out there and make a good first impression. If you need anything, you know where to find me. Until next time. I hope Thirdborn is a good community for my people.
Hey, I wanted to talk to you about what happened in Emerald Stair. I know your Emperor sent you here to represent Adir. With the Steel Garrote trying to raise Fjord has gotta make things harder for you. Then why did your Emperor send them? Maybe, but it's an alliance all the same. Look, I'm not trying to hold your feet to the fire over this. The cruelty behind the Steel Garrote's plans. It's hard to reconcile that with the place you've called home. I just wanted to know how you're feeling about all this. Yeah, I told you about my time fighting under Rauatai's flag in the Deadfire. Seeing what we did there, what we allowed. I felt like the home I knew was changing, bit by bit, or maybe I was. Enough about me, though. I want to know about you.
说呢，我们前面已经阻止铁脚卫了，还有什么好问？这就是不认同，不然干嘛在那个瀑布洞穴的时候去把铁脚卫全清了？他也在现场。这个问题我觉得现在像是硬问。应该这边如果说有个转折，就是我们把他只想问我是不是不认同就好，因为他从他的观察应该就看到我们已经是在反铁脚卫了。
You'd think this island's big enough, wouldn't you? Anyway, I just want to check in with you. This may be your burden, but you don't have to carry it alone. What's on your mind? A marker of his service to Thirdborn's defense, and something that helps his comrades identify his remains, if needed.
You always hope it won't come to that.
You hope it won't, but you know it might. It's an old Rauataian naval tradition that Thirdborn's kept alive, and another debt I owe him. The story goes that a lot of the first arrivals were Rauataians without other prospects, too low on the ladder to take over the family trade, too poor to learn another. Exactly. Rauatai's an inhospitable environment, to say the least, so my people have a proud tradition of seeking our fortunes elsewhere. Rauatai's got a big navy that always needs fresh blood, and there are plenty of opportunities for large, colorful mercenaries and bodyguards all over Aora. You got it. It's hard to say when Thirdborn was properly founded. It started as a convenient harbor for pirates and mercs to lie low. Bold, or desperate, fishing crews from Rauatai would follow seasonal catches out here. That tells you something about the people willing to attempt it. Over time, those early arrivals built huts, a proper harbor, and walls to protect them from all the hungry things in the desert. Well, that brought in a steady trickle of veterans, ruffians, trophy hunters, and rugged eccentrics. People looking for fresh adventure, or running from the consequences of their old ones. Your words, not mine. I'll be here if you need me.
不要太多了，我们赶快，因为时间不太够，赶快进到下一个地图。 看一下动画或者什么一开始的事件，然后我相信我那个神会跟我们对话。三子城，我也就比较想要带马里乌斯，但是我们现在没有近战，还是需要一个台。啊，不带吉雅塔也很怪，台啊，这就有点难选。我们还是先这样吧。哦，他这个初级跟待命的这个的例会还不一样啊，笑死！好吧，我们先用这样的阵容吧。
You smell death here.
Listen to me. Look here. Can you focus on my voice? Can you hear me click?
You hear that crying? Pathetic.
That last pipe gouged a hole through our ranks. How many did you?
Too many. Not even counting the ones we had to put down because they turned
Envoy,
into dream thralls.
I have something to ask of you. The good man is dead out there in the sands. The dream thralls ambushed us, and Helshin, he held them off so we could escape. There was a sword he had that was precious to him, and he would have wanted that sword to continue the fight for Adi. It's of good quality. Might be of use to you. I appreciate it. You'll find the sword out in the ancient lake bed, at the bottom of the rounded cliff. Thank you again, Envoy.
那还接了个任务。
What did this? To train soldiers.
Never should have come here. We have everything we need in Adia.
There's no going up. What have we gotten ourselves into?
因为我们是一路这样过来，然后又绕了一大圈到这个碎浪崖。啊，不晓得北方这个冰天雪地的地方会不会去？看这边都全部都是老弱残兵，被这个梦魇俘虏打得很惨。
Time to dig another grave.
Bloodborners have been on edge ever since the mines got shut down.
Another Adiran, Kutaba.
Hold on. This isn't one of mine. Or Ludwig's. You must be the envoy Hilgard told me about.
Well, you picked a damn fine time to show up.
It was a bloodbath. Dream thralls ambushed us an hour ago. We're still counting the dead.
Our dead, to be precise.
We lost soldiers too, protecting your people.
Yes, how heroic. Protecting Kith from Adiran dream thralls.
No, but most are. Our troops haven't been spared, and more are falling ill.
In all their military might, your Adiran comrades decided to go wandering through the desert, despite my advice. And now we're all paying for their idiocy. Thirdborners and Adirans alike.
We've since pulled back to Eagle's Reach until more reinforcements arrive to contain the Dream Thralls. Whatever your intentions here, Envoy, it's not worth it. Better to go back to Paradise where it's safe. No, we cannot. No matter how many we lose.
At least one of you has the backbone of a Rawatayan. Maybe you'll do all right out here.
Please underestimate us. Makes it more fun when we prove you wrong.
Look, Envoy. Kith aren't too keen on Adirans at the moment. Rumor of what happened in Fjord is already starting to spread. Just watch your back, all right?
Good luck, Envoy. Gods protect you.
They have the energy to argue, but not to solve problems. Reminds me of home.
The quiet's worse than the action.
那个蹲在这里
，Nothing's worse.
PTSD。他这边这个峡谷的 view 还不错，直接就看到三子城在那边。
welcome to the shit, envoy. Sorry for the mess, but it can't be helped. Not when a fucking horde of dream thralls screams up the path. At least they're not coming out of the fucking rock like they did in the mines. Ugh, dream thrall spiders.
Gods, regular giant spiders are deadly enough.
Aye, a living nightmare. They swarmed just like that. These dream scourge people don't eat their kill. What kind of feet have you got? We're talking about a whole mine filled with them. Follow the path down. You'll see the elevator. It's broken now, but the mines are just on the cliff above.
I used to hear stories about cave-ins up there. Watch your step.
If you hit the Leviathan skull when you're up there, you've gone too far. You'll know it when you see it. The powers that be decided we'd help Thirdborn reopen an old, abandoned sulfur mine. Help arm Thirdborn against the Dream Scourge, you see. Make friends. But it's not my place to talk about any of it. If it please you, sounds like they need all the help they can get.
Clearing out dream-scourged spiders. Sounds like honest work to me.
这个地图看起来也挺大的。我觉得我们这一集要冲到三子城，我看是有点难，不然就先卡在这吧。然后我就在这附近晃一晃，把这些支线解一解，因为感觉应该也没有什么太重要的剧情。下一集我们再一路冲到三子城。真的，它这个场景做的也还可以。对，我觉得这游戏场景是目前这几款游戏DI， 但是我觉得他们场景都没什么大问题，那还不错。大概就这样。好了，我们这一集有点长了，我觉得我也没什么好讲的。对，我只是最后菲奥拉被铁脚卫进攻，我是没有料到，我以为说我们把这个瀑布里面的铁脚卫清掉就没有这些项目，但他还是会很疯狂的进行进攻，哪怕是他们缺兵、缺人、缺粮，他还是要打，然后最后是一个惨败的结局。我只能说，果然是一群狂热分子，应该是不太合理，应该是要变成就专门打野辅、打补给去偷袭那些商队啊，或什么。或者是他们那种运粮队或什么啊，不过就这样吧，他可能也没办法做太细节的这个调整，不然就全部都是成本嘛。我只是没有料到一来这边竟然是一群这个败退的这个，应该算是天堂城那边的士兵吧，对，蛮奇怪的。然后铁脚卫其实也没打算去鸟他们。不打算帮他们，整个就是很混乱，对，各自为政。三子城这边的剧情，马里乌斯就一直在卖关子，他死都不讲他到底什么状况。目前这个新地图也还没有营地嘛，所以我也没办法跟他们聊。好吧，就先这样吧。我们就期待下一集吧，然后看一下到底会不会是最后的。这个游戏应该没意外，我会继续录了。我想看一下后面会不会就像我前面讲的，是不是其实这个，我忘了那神名叫什么，萨达帕欧吗？还是什么？是不是他一手主演啊、主导，然后最后我们是要臣服，还是要跟他对抗，还是什么的？或搞不好最后铁脚卫才一直是对的人，他做的事情才是正确的。因为他前面塑造这么脸谱化的反派，是有一点奇怪，怕他最后是要来一个反转，就是刻意的营造这种氛围，就不太确定他们这个最后剧情是不是要这样子。好吧，我们就期待后面的吧。好，那以上就是我们今天这个宣誓的游玩内容了。那我们就感谢大家的收看，我们下次见，拜拜。